All right, hello everyone. It is June 19th, 2025 when I'm making this video. You'll probably see it sometime next week. Um, Want to talk a little bit about Bluesky and what's going on with that. We've seen a lot, obviously, with Elon and Twitter. And over the years, we have heard about the new Twitter killer. And there's going to be this new app, and everyone's going to go to it because everyone hates Elon, and that's going to be the end of Twitter. I believe it was Mastodon at first, and then that flopped. And then there was the Facebook one, Threads, that was going to be the Twitter killer, and that flopped. The latest one has been Bluesky. And so you've heard a lot in the news about Bluesky, and it's going to, that's going to be the end of Elon and the end of Twitter and all this stuff. So, I looked up some data, and here's what I found. Bluesky basically had no users prior to Elon getting really involved in the Trump campaign in last summer. And then when Trump won the election, there was a huge surge of users on Bluesky, and it hit its highest level of daily use ever. And it hit 1.5 million people. 1.5 million unique users around the world, and that was right around the election, and then it began to trail off. It dropped down a bunch, came up a little bit more around inauguration, and it has dropped back down. As of April, it is down around, beginning of April, is down around 900,000 users per day. So from its peak of 1.5 million last November, it has lost about 40% of the people who were there and has been steadily declining as of April for about 3 to 4 months consistently, just each day getting a little bit less than the day before. Okay, they're down 40% from their peak. They're still well above what they were before. Elon became very involved with the Trump campaign. But what does that number mean? 900,000 daily users. Is this a challenger to Twitter or any other social media platform for that matter? And I would submit to you the idea that no, it is not. And I'll give you two reasons for this. The first is what I already stated. It's lost 40% of its user base since last November. Any social media platform that is operating at only 60% of its peak and is steadily going lower and lower and lower is a dying platform. So that's point one. Point two, let's put that number into context 900,000 users. What does that compare to? And by the way, I don't mean this in any ways to be some endorsement of, oh, Elon's great, Elon's wonderful. I've had lots of complaints about Elon. I will continue to have complaints about Elon. But I wanted to, put this number into context. So I looked up a few things. Let's start with TikTok. Okay, we've all heard a lot about TikTok in the news. Well, what do they get per day? Per day, they have around 50 million unique users. Remember, Bluesky is running around 900,000. So Bluesky is doing just under 2% of the daily users that TikTok is. TikTok's about 50 times bigger. Okay, well, what about Twitter? That's the big. Bluesky is going to be the Twitter killer. Well, Twitter has about 245 million daily users. 200, so versus less than 1 million, meaning that they don't even have, meaning Bluesky has less than 1/2 of 1% of Twitter's user base. Okay, what about the big one, Meta? Now, this is across all platforms. They have Facebook, they have Instagram, they have multiple platforms. So this is a little bit of an unfair, well, it's an unfair comparison, but just to give you scale, they have over 3 billion users per day. So by far, the biggest is Meta. Nothing even comes close to that. Um, Twitter is 5 times the size of TikTok, and TikTok is 50 times the size of Bluesky. So no, Bluesky is not going to make it. They are not going to kill Twitter. They are not going to replace Twitter. I doubt they're even going to survive. Whatever cash they've got, I don't know what their operating expenses are, but when you're the product of a social media company is two things: data and eyeballs. We have lots of people, so we have lots of data we can sell. We have lots of eyeballs, we can sell marketing. Well, they don't have a lot of people, which means they don't have a lot of data and they don't have a lot of eyeballs. And they're getting less and less. And so if you're an advertising company, you're looking at that one saying, so if I pay to put an ad on it and I base it on the number of users they've got right now, odds are a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, there's going to be even fewer people looking at my ad than there are right now. Why do I want to pay for that? Which begs the question, why? Why didn't Bluesky blow up? All the liberals were going to go over there, all the lefties, and say, we're going to screw Elon and let's go do this. And God knows Elon gave them every reason in the world. He didn't say, hey, I'm going to support Trump and here are my reasons. It was, you're a traitor and this person's an imbecile and this person's a pedo. And I mean, he was just throwing all these insane insults and just jumping around making a fool of himself and just doing everything he could to make people who had politically different views than he did as miserable as possible. Um, Just real quick, as a contrast, the wrestler Mick Foley, Mankind. I was a pro wrestling fan when I was a kid. Saw him do an interview on CNN before the election. He talked about his reasons why he supported Kamala Harris, and I disagreed with him. I didn't think I thought he was wrong about stuff, but you know what? I thought he was polite. He was respectful. It was all, I think she stands for this, and I think this is good, and this is why. And it was like it was a good, coherent, cogent argument. And it was one of those, when it was over, I disagreed with him, but I certainly didn't have any ill will. I mean, he couldn't have been more of a gentleman about it, and total opposite of Elon, who just does everything he can to make people hate him for some reason. Please don't ask me why. I have no idea why. The problem that Bluesky is facing is twofold. One is censorship. They made a big deal out of, we will have censorship. And so a lot of people on the left went over there. They thought it was going to be great. We're going to have censorship. No more of this MAGA BS. No more of this misinformation, disinformation, all that kind of stuff. Here's the problem. Censors have to censor somebody. And if they're not censoring someone, they're going to lose their jobs. The only way they can justify their salary is to keep censoring people. So somebody's going to get censored. Well, if you have basically a whole bunch of lefties, that means the only people the censors can censor are lefties. There's no one from MAGA over there to censor. And I've read many times on Twitter, people who went to Bluesky, and it's always the same. I can't believe I got censored. I said this, that, or the other thing that was usually only marginally outside the Democrat orthodoxy, and I got censored. I just can't believe it. One of the mistakes people who support censorship make is they believe that they will not be censored and the people they like will not be censored. It's only going to apply to those bad guys over there. Censors must censor somebody. Once they've run out of the people you don't like to censor, they must start censoring you or the people you like to keep their jobs. So that's point one why it failed, was a bunch of people went over there and started getting censored. Who thought they would never be. They thought they were immune from it. And they were just shocked to find out that they weren't, which is what happens in every censorship regime. Second reason is that part of what makes Twitter interesting is that you get to hear different sides of things. Sometimes you hear good arguments from the other side. Sometimes you see people saying stupid things on the other side, and the means your favorite poster can point them out and say, hey, laugh at how dumb the other side is. They said this stupid thing. Well, when everybody on a social media platform is more or less on the same side politically and has more or less the same views, all of that goes away. There is nobody to push against, and you've lost a very important part of the business model, which is the debate. There is no debate. There is only, I agree, and I agree, and I agree with that too. And that gets really boring really fast. So in my opinion, Bluesky is not going to make it. The numbers certainly back that up. Their business model is fundamentally flawed. They're a tech company. There will be startup capital, venture capital, things like that for at least a while. I have no idea when they'll go under. But right now, the numbers are suggesting they're going to go under. And frankly, their business model means it is inevitable that they go under. Now, they may change it. They may say, okay, we're going to lay off the censorship. We're going to encourage debate. We're going to encourage disagreement. We're going to let people state their own opinions, in which case, who knows, everything could change. But right now, today, they're going under and they're not going to make it. And they are absolutely not in any way, shape, or form a threat to Twitter's dominance of national and international debate. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.